You could say that I'm addicted to horror. I mean, I watch scary movies, play scary games, I read scary stories, and not just that stupid jump scare crap that people are into these days. I love real horror, the kind that makes you squirm with fear, the things that fill me with dread of my surroundings, especially in this forested area where I live, about 3 miles from town. It gets pitch black outside at night here. Anyway, this isn't about watching a cursed episode or encountering some omnipresent beast. It's not so cliche. It's been a normal day, like any other day until just now. I was listening to stories on YouTube while playing some PC games. I got bored, so I decided to go look for a really scary story to read since it's dark out. And maybe I could get scared enough to have a nightmare tonight, if I got so lucky. I won't be getting any sleep tonight. That's for sure. I started reading through the highest rated ones on the Wikia. They're all highly overrated, to say the least. Nonsensical killers who possess superhuman abilities for no apparent reason. Formally dressed monsters that would have huge news coverage, clothes, and cartoons that turn into awkwardly gore-fest stories for no reason at all. Typical, I suppose. These people don't really know horror the way that I do. Where are all the stories about subtlety? Where's the dread and the atmosphere? Stories like the one where some friends on a fishing trip get pulled into some hellish reality surrounded by fog, or a dismal furry apocalypse that spells hopeless doom for humanity, are examples of the refined horror that I'm a connoisseur of. These fools are much like the ones who I've been surrounded with my entire life. Nobody appreciates a good talent for terror anymore. I decided to go out of the highest rated ones and just search through random pages. Nothing too special, until I saw something that jumped out at me. It was the story of a man who lived alone, and had a disgust for the lack of imagination that people have. Something I can sympathize with. And he was a local animal catcher. This is where it got me interested in the story, as I have the same job. But this man, however, was a serial killer who targeted his victims based off of his judgment of a person. In his mind, he was doing the world a service by removing the worthless people who hold the human race back from true progress. He would stalk through the trees on the edge of town and find the most cynical and moronic people that he could. He would observe their daily patterns and plan out a time and place where he could sneak up, inject them with an animal tranquilizer, and drag them into the tree line without being seen. Before leaving his house, he would take the sledgehammer out of his garage and sneak through the forest behind his home. The story started to make me very uncomfortable at this point. The killer would then bring them deep into the woods. When he got his victims there, he would make sure that they were bound with duct tape, beyond the chance of escape. It went into an unnecessarily detailed description of how he would wrap the tape around the victim's legs and arms, so that they would be in a position similar to a mummy in a coffin. Then would tie them firmly upright to a tree, and once they were conscious, he would tell them exactly why it was that they were about to die. You are holding everyone back. You are an imbecile who doesn't know how to appreciate anything good that people put into the world. I don't hate you for it, but we don't need people like you. At which point, he would smash the life out of them with a sledgehammer. He would keep pounding away until nothing remained to the victim but a pile of red mush and chips of bone. I felt sick to my stomach. When the murder was complete, he would spread the remains around the area and let nature do the rest. These people will make better fertilizer than citizens, he would think to himself, while walking back home through the foliage of the Robinson's Wood of Illinois. The story then ends with the author saying that it was a true story, and that the man was caught because of witnesses' reports and became the first person to be executed in the state since Andrew Coccarelli's in 1999. The execution date was June 14, 2015. Exactly 3 months after his last murder. This isn't the kind of fear that I was craving. This is too much. Robinson's Woods is where I lived, and today was March 14th, 2015. That puts his last murder to be today. That can't be true. It's based on the future. There's no way this is accurate. Published by a user named Umbra on August 19th, 2016. A feeling of dread comes over me. This can't be. But it's right there on my screen. It's as if time is bending to show me this. Now I hear someone knocking on my door. What's going on here? What's happening? Am I going to die? How am I reading something from over a year in the future? And more importantly, who was it that saw me today?